Hello everybody, my name is Zach and this is Sam, and this will be the start of our new YouTube channel, which is basically a vlog about our everyday life and stuff like that. But what we want to talk to you guys about today is kind of our story and some of the battles that we face every day with our relationship. So first of all, I'll let Sam kind of tell you guys about how we met, and then we'll go on from there.
Okay. Well, we met in 9th grade English, and at first, I did not like him at all. He talked to every girl in the class, and we have cats.
Yeah, we have cats, so if you guys see random cats running around or hear anything, that's what that is.
Okay. Anyway, he talked to like every girl in the classroom, and I don't know, I just didn't like him, and he sat in front of me, and every day we would read for a couple minutes when we got into class, and I remember there was this one day he kept bugging me, and he'd lean his head back onto my desk and ask me what I was reading, and I'd hit him in the head with my book, and I don't know, it's kind of actually one of my favorite memories from high school. Because it was funny. But the day after spring break in 10th grade is when he messaged me on Facebook, and I was kind of like, okay, why are you talking to me? But it kind of worked out because in October of 11th grade he asked me out, and we've been dating since then, and it's almost 5.5 years.
Yeah, it's been a really long time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been a good time.
Yeah,
In fact, I'm almost tearing up talking about it because I'm so happy, but that's what it is. Yeah, so that's kind of a little bit of background on our story. We've been together for almost 5.5 years, and we've been actually living together now for, well, roughly 3 years.
Yeah, it'll be 3 years in a couple of months.
We lived in a kind of like a rented townhouse and then an apartment, and now we went and we bought our first house. So we wrote down on this little piece of paper kind of some of the challenges that we face every day. Because being in a relationship for this long, I think what was the percentage of people that make it over 5 years? I think it was like 15% of relationships actually last over 5 years. That's kind of like the make or break point. And I really think that we've been
through a lot.
We've been through a lot, and you know, I always say to you, I'd rather make this work than try to start something new. And I really think that that's kind of the attitude that you have to have. Is, you know, even when you're having your worst day ever, or when we are arguing or whatever, you can't just walk away from it. That's kind of what's going to make or break anybody's relationship. You can't just say, this is it, I'm done. You got to actually want to make it work. So that's how we met. Let's do on here how to communicate.
Okay. Well, you know, when Zach, he works evenings, so when he's at work, you know, he always is messaging me or texting me and asking me what I'm doing and how my night is going. And I think that's really important because I'm here by myself for a long time, so, you know, knowing that he would rather talk to me while he's at work rather than talking to his workers kind of means a lot to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there are people that I work with that they don't text like their loved one during the day, or you know, if I could have it my way, we do text a lot, but I would love to call and talk to Sam on every break, the whole break long, because it's like I miss her, you know. And like, as one of the people I work with said, how can you miss somebody if you talk to them every single break? And really my response is cats are really goofy right now. They've been fighting hard. My response to that person, well, I didn't say it to them, but what I thought about it afterward is like, you know, maybe you not missing that person is not a very good thing. You know, you want to miss them.
Mm-hmm.
So I do try to take time out of my day to talk to Sam, you know, and even if you're really busy, 5 minutes on the phone can really make a world of difference for anybody.
Yeah,
you
like,
know?
you know, if you, like, even if we're mad at each other, you know, we always will still talk to each other. We don't just, you know, not talk because, you know, we've been in a relationship for so long that I kind of feel like we're going to, well, I don't kind of, I know we're going to last. And it's
Mhm.
just, I would rather try to work it out than, you know, just say, okay, I'm done. You know,
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to you. Like, I always want to talk to him.
And you know, a fight is really a short-term thing
Mm-hmm.
most of the time. I mean, if it's something like crazy, I would never cheat on anybody, especially
Mhm.
Sam. But you know, if that was it, that's a different scenario. But for like your everyday fights about the little stuff that really doesn't matter, at the end of the day, you still want to like feel loved, and it's important to make sure that you put out the effort to make them feel loved. So communication is really key.
Yep.
And I know a lot of people, if they're mad at their boyfriend or girlfriend, they just won't talk to them. They just won't talk to them for a couple days, and that's not really fair. You know, like the saying, you always got to say, I love you before you go to bed. That's really important.
And if you love somebody, you know, you always need to make sure that you tell them that you love them, because if you're mad, you know, you kind of don't feel like somebody loves you when
Yeah.
you're arguing.
Yeah, especially when you're the one that's, like, if they're upset with you, you definitely can feel unloved. So it's important that if you are upset with them, you still tell them that you love them, because that can really break somebody's heart, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's how a lot of arguments go south real quick, is like, there's a difference between working something out, and then there's the difference of like, you don't know what's going on with your relationship. Obviously at 5 years, she knows, I say it all the time, like, I'm not gonna leave,
No.
you know. And that's important, because it's like, even if you have a bad fight in your head, you're like, well, is this gonna work, is this gonna work? But you gotta realize that it's just a fight, it's just temporary, we'll make our way through it, you know.
And at the end of most fights, you know, you kind of realize after you made up and stuff, like, that fight was really stupid.
Yeah.
There's no need for it.
Yeah. And I think that even if you are in the wrong and one person is in the right, that it's important that you both say that you're sorry, because even if the person did wrong, you don't want to, like, what would the word be, condone them? You don't want them to feel like they are out of their place, you know. You still want to say sorry for the argument and be a responsible person about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think at most of our fights that we've had, we've always both said sorry. Even if it wasn't even needed, it's like, well, I'm sorry that we had to, like, have that argument.
Yeah. Put each other through it.
Yeah,
you know.
because at the end of the day, we both love each other.
Yeah.
So that kind of was how we communicate and our arguments, you know. A lot with that, when we do argue, see, I'm the type of person that I want to squash this right now and be fine in 5 minutes. Sam is the type of person that when we argue, she needs to go have a couple minutes to herself.
You need to leave me alone.
Yeah.
That's like, that's how it is. It's, you need to leave me alone.
Yep. And I'm the type of person, I will follow her into the bedroom, and normally it doesn't end up very well, but I don't know, I want to just hammer it out, get through it, and be fine in 5 minutes, but that's not how she works. So that's a difference that we have that oftentimes gets me caught in trouble, because I shouldn't follow you in your room like that.
But, you know, if you just follow me in my room and you just let me settle down for a couple of minutes, then, you know, I'm fine.
Normally what I'll do if it gets to that point, which we really don't have arguments that go that far, but we have had some, and normally I'll let her be in there by herself for half hour, I'd say half hour.
Usually.
And then I will go in there, and normally that's when we kind of make up and, like, both say that we're sorry and reflect on what the argument was about.
Yeah.
So let's do major events next.
Okay.
I don't really know what you meant by that, so you can start it.
Okay, well, you know, dating somebody for 5 years, you go through a lot of stuff that happens in life. Like recently I had 2 of my great grandmas pass away.
My parents got divorced.
You know, we moved out. That was just a huge event in itself.
Buying this house was huge.
Yeah. You know, we've had family issues. We've had just stuff happen. Like I had a procedure done last summer that it wasn't a big deal, but you know, to have somebody that
still put under for it.
Yep, to have somebody that, you know, sticks with it and, you know, helps it. Like, it meant so much to me when my great grandmas were, you know, like laying on their deathbed, that the very last time I saw both of them, Zach was there.
Yep.
And that's just, it's huge, and it's like, you know, like, I can't even talk about it yet, but it's just a huge thing. It's good to know that he cares so much that he would be there with me.
Yeah. And I even visited your great grandma that lived in town. I even visited her when you weren't there.
Yeah.
And your family was there.
Yep.
And I think that's really important too. I'm not only in a relationship with Sam, but I'm in a relationship with her whole entire family.
Yep.
And her family is very close, and my family is very distant. And so a big challenge for Sam is the fact of connecting with my family, because my family, like I said, is very distant. We don't talk every day. We don't tell each other all of our business. And her family, they talk every day, and they know pretty much what's going on, and that comes with talking every day.
Yep. Talk to my mom every single day.
Yep, and I don't. I probably talk to my mom once a week, if you averaged it out. And so that's kind of part of our what were we on? Major events. That's part of the major events, because, you know.
Yeah. I mean, just like within the last year, we lived in a crappy townhouse a mile away from the college that's in town to a nice apartment that we both love to, you know, a house, and it's huge.
It is huge, and it's a huge burden too. I mean, you live in an apartment, you don't have to worry about nothing, but now every little noise I hear and stuff like that, it's like, oh boy, how much is this going to cost, you know?
Yep.
But like I always said through all those major events, Sam is my rock, and I think that I'm her rock too.
Yeah, you are.
I'd like to think that. So if there's one person that's going to comfort you, that's really what a rock is. You know, if there's one person that's going to comfort you, there's one person you're always going to go to. It's Sam. I wouldn't pick up the phone and call my mom about something or my dad or whoever, before I talk to Sam about it. You know, is there times when I do that? Yeah, but it's normally, a good example would be like something on this house. I asked her parents yesterday about some paperwork stuff that I got, because we don't know.
Yeah, we're new. We don't know anything about having a house.
Yeah. So, yeah, so like major events and stuff like that, you gotta be there for them, or at least try to be there for them.
Yeah.
You know, you're extremely close with both of your great grandmas.
Yes,
that
I was.
That was a big deal.
And they both passed away, you know,
Within
just a little. No, it was just a little over a month. One was the 27th of a month, and then the next one was the 3rd of the 2 months after that.
Yeah.
So it was like 5 weeks.
And I just thought about the whole fights and arguments thing. A lot of people, when they fight, it's like, even if they're wrong, you know, they want to like argue it anyways. And I think that's one thing with us that we've come to with arguing stuff like that is we can be in the middle of an argument, and if all of a sudden the person's like, oh my god, you are right, we can stop that argument right now. And that's something you gotta, you know, you don't just stand your ground to stand your ground. You gotta be able to.
And sometimes it's hard to say that you're wrong.
Yeah,
it's hard.
It is, and I think that's like 75% of a fight is just because they're too hard-headed to realize. A lot of people I know, that's how they are. They're getting these huge arguments. Why? Because they just are too ignorant, or whatever you want to call it.
They can't admit that what they are arguing about is what, you know, they're wrong about it.
You really got to take that next level step.
Yep.
And another thing I think that we should say is, bouncing off each other with encouragement and like wanting the best, you know, and
Yep.
trying to push them to be the best that they can because, well, you changed majors in college and
Mhm.
I had no problem with it. In fact, I would have no problem if she didn't go to college anymore because it's just, if that's what she wants, I'm totally for it.
Awesome. I'm just kidding.
Well, I know that
Yeah.
college is hard.
Yeah, it's
and
hard.
A lot of people go to college just because their parents and people around them are like, you have to.
Mhm.
But if you have at least one person that you really care about that says, no, you don't have to. You can do
Yeah.
whatever you want. And I'll support it. That's a big deal.
Going to college and working part time and
Buying a brand new car.
yeah, that happened. And you know, having time for yourself, it's hard. Like I mean, I am by myself every night during the week,
Mhm.
but I mean, I'm usually doing homework. I'm cleaning. You know, I don't really get the time to just kind of relax and do what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Zach doesn't have that time either because he's working all the time. But
Yeah, really, for me, you're home a lot.
mhm,
For our schedules match up pretty well, where Sam can be awake late at night, or when I wake up, she'll actually wake me up a lot of days.
every day.
And for me, sometimes it can be kind of difficult. That's one of those giving moments because I can have a really rough night at work and I want to be left alone, but Sam is here, and I think that sometimes I do take out my frustrations on her,
Mhm.
and it's part of it, and we both understand, like, if she has a bad night at work, I might be have a repercussion from that, and it's something you gotta understand, you know, because who can you talk to at work about a bad day at work? They don't care,
Yeah.
you know. One of the last things that we have to talk about here is our long-term goals, and we talk about the future a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, just the last week we were talking about once we sell this house, right? We just bought the house, but once we sell this house, what are we going to be into next? And it's really important to have long-term goals because that is a foreseeable future that you and them can share, and it's going to like boost what you got going on to try to get to that next level.
Yep. I don't know really why I wrote that down, but
I mean, our long-term goals is whenever she's done with her schooling, we plan on getting engaged and getting married.
mhm.
And we've been dating a long time, but as you said, you don't want a long-term engagement, and to be honest, I don't
No.
either.
Less than a year, really.
Yeah, I mean, I want to get engaged, have the wedding planned, and get it over with, rather
Mhm.
than, because it's not going to be so important.
Get it over with.
You know what I mean? Well, it's not going to be so important if we got engaged now and then 3-4 years from now.
Yeah, it just. I would rather, you know, like you said, get engaged, get everything ready,
Mm-hmm.
and then just get married.
Yeah, because a lot of people, they get engaged to get their ring, and then they don't have the money for it.
Yep. And they wait
And
years, and it's like it's
yeah.
not even exciting.
They have 4 kids, and they're,
Yep.
oh, now we can, you know.
Yeah.
And that's life. Life can do
Mhm.
that. Another thing, you know, we want to get engaged. We want to have kids. I want to have a lot of kids, if possible. 5. That's a lot of kids.
Yeah.
And we want to get a smaller. Well, I guess it was not smaller than this one, but a modest house.
Mhm.
In fact, we want to build a modest house and then have our kids there and have land because we want to have our own vegetable garden and raise our own animals and.
Which is something I never wanted
Mhm.
until I started dating Zach, and then just the idea of like how he grew up and stuff. Like he always had land where he grew up, and
Mhm.
you know I guess like where I grew up, we had the biggest neighbor, or not neighbor, we had the biggest.
Yep.
But now it's like I would love to like have, you know, my own garden and do stuff like that and have a bunch of kids running around. 'Cause until I was 12, I was like the only child.
Yep.
So I never had, you know, a brother and sister to play with, and that's why I personally want a lot of kids. It's just so
Yep.
I can just have, you know.
And I think it's important that our kids grow up in that kind of a
Mm-hmm.
environment because a lot of the city kids that I knew, got into bad habits because
Yep.
they're around other kids. They have nothing better to do than to party and drugs and stuff like that. Where in my situation, we were raising our own animals a lot of the time, and there was chores to be done. And even now, like outside of work, I don't hang out with anybody from work. I am very much a alone type person, I would say.
No.
That kind of comes with that, right? I'm a very independent person, and I don't need other people to have fun with necessarily.
I mean, even before work, you're usually outside doing something in the yard. You know, we're gonna try to do a garden this year and see how that goes. I mean, if we can handle it, and if I don't kill everything, because I have that tendency with plants. But we'll just see. You know,
Yeah.
just it's fun to kind of have those kind of plans.
Yeah, and that's our plan now. It could be different tomorrow, but I mean, I think it's just an important environment for kids to grow up in, to have the ability to know more than just common sense, you know.
Yeah.
Anyways, so that's kind of our story and our background and what we think about things. But this channel in the future, we're gonna start doing like daily vlogs and upload them. Who knows, every day if it really takes off or whatever. But yeah, I think that this will be fun.
Yeah, and like we chose to do this video, you know, for our first video because it's our new channel. It's our first video, and it's like, well, if it's both of us in it, why not share right away, you know, what we've done and like how our relationship works.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean, I think it's very. I think we have a very nice relationship, and it's much different than a lot of people.
Yep.
A lot of people, it's very male-oriented, egotistical, whatever.
And I don't allow that.
Yeah, no, it's very even. In fact, Sam probably has more power than I do. I think that's important, though,
Yeah.
because we do have tendencies to always want to be right.
Yep, and you know, like there's stuff that you have more power on, and there's stuff that I have more power on, and that's just how we balance each other out. And you know, I won't be in a relationship where, you know, a guy has all the power, and I don't think Zach would be in a relationship where I had all the power. It's just,
you know, or where it's a set in stone. You got to cook, clean, and do laundry. You know, that doesn't happen around here.
no.
I would say you do more cooking and more cleaning.
But I
You
like
do
that
not
stuff.
do my laundry.
Yeah.
At all.
I love to cook, so that like really doesn't bother
And
me.
I am gone in the evenings, so I really can't like cook dinner for you. But I'm cooking it tonight.
Well, it's a weekend, so.
Yeah, see. On the weekend I have been trying to pick up my stuff. And I do clean, but
You know, and like
I'm
when
really
I
sorry.
clean, it's like I kind of just get into like a little cleaning spurt. Like I want to clean the whole house, and I want to clean it right now. So like that happens. I can't get mad at Zach being like, "Well, you didn't help me clean the house," because I did it. I did it, you know, when he's at work. Like it wouldn't be fair for me to be like, "Well, you know, you never helped me clean," but
and I do tell you a lot. Don't cook me dinner. You don't have to cook me dinner. It's important I say that because you really don't. I can fend for myself, but if you know,
but I like to, you know.
we have the weirdest cats.
This is Ruby, by the way. This is our little 1-year-old kitty.
Yeah.
She's not 1 yet, but.
She really isn't.
No,
Oh yeah,
she's not
she's
one.
August. She's my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And then Miss Mayo's over there doing, well, you know, I think that we should show them how she is right now. I'll see if we can get the camera to,
She's our new one, but she's actually older. She's 5.
I don't know what she's
But
doing.
she's a little dork.
Let's see if I can move the camera here. And this is May. And she's looking right at the camera right now. It says golden. That's Miss May. So that's our little pet family. We also have a guinea pig, but we won't show them that.
Not yet. She's
No.
she's a baby yet, so gotta get her a little more comfortable.
Yep. Anyways, that's our story.
Yep. So we have a couple of videos that we know we're gonna be doing, but just figuring it all out right now, so
All right.
hair everywhere right now.
Well, thanks for watching, and we hope that you enjoyed this video, and we hope that you like our upcoming vlogs.
Subscribe.
Yes.